phenomenon. With serious issues, mankind choose to fool around. Then they go find out, facing real consequences, that when you play goatish games, you win foolish prizes. The mighty US of A, look how them in disarray, because they forget the first dose of MAGA madness. So with the short-term memory, they welcome back Donald T to give that fascist a second term in office. But after they take the bait and they realize what's the fate, enough of them want to change the vote, but it is too late. You see the FA, FO, you see the FA, now they go FO. Plenty immigrants made their choice. Uncle Donald they supporting, but he put their support on ice and themselves he start deporting. FA, FO, I said the FA. Because it now so keen, he naming the Epstein files. So they now studying like they're voting a presidential pedophile. FA, FO, I said the FA, now they got FO. You see when you're ever wrong, there's no doubt. Even Uncle Sam will find out that what's sour in Bam Bam starts sweet in the mouth. When you shout FA, FO, I tell you that is, tell them that. Can you see? You see the code? Come in. Trinidadian love all fours, you know that is the truth. So when America trump, we just follow suit. If them MAGA morons is America's concern, well, we present government is easily their clones. From 2010 to 15, the tenure was so obscene, scandalize the land and destroy we economy. But like we missed the free for all, incompetence and bubble, so we bring them back to finish mash up the country. And as they assume their roles, I set a square peg in wrong holes. Now plenty people who help them win at the polls. Feel the FA, FO, they say the FA. Alexander's in the world and he make ministers. One is a racist troll and one need a West Indian first primer. FA, FO, I said the FA, now we go FO. Meanwhile Tanti setting up TNT in people worship we in place. She should have led the Yankee army, plant the red eye in she pink palace. FA, FO, I said the FA. Wrong, there's no doubt. Persona non grata must find out that what's sour in Bam Bam starts sweet in she mouth. Sing it out. FA, FO, tell them that is, tell them that is the code. Cause when code yellow wins, corruption begins. Where's the real code? Let me talk to the doc. Doc, you had the mandate of most of the electorate, not to mention the support of your party base. Somehow you took that to mean you could manipulate and dictate the decision of who should take your place. And because you were the top dog, you move like an overlord. You find when you tell them jump, they should have asked how high. You set out to sway the vote, offer up a young scapegoat to just get a kobo sweat after you say bye-bye. You delay party convention, play with party constitution, and figure you could have gerrymander the outcome of your FA, FO, your FA, and then your FO. You chain up the young man for truth to snap the election fingers fast. Although every poll warn you that would have be a shortcut as FA. For your voters who stayed away, you certainly have a part to play. But they feel like they get betrayed, like it has snake in the belly. Say FA, FO, I say your FA, no all of we FO. You see when you're ever wrong without doubt, even strong leaders find out that what's our
Africans for sale, for sale, for sale. Africans for sale, for sale, for sale.
All you good, yes? I was lying with some old men before the election, and well, I was amazed of their discussion. They were discussing the election of 2025. How Africans were selling cheap and UNC buying dead or alive. One old man shout out, fellas, give me your attention. UNC can't win by themselves, no election. You see, they're sitting and they're planning to make a decision. So she called out Shilaga, who the old FIFA wanted man. She said, call the trade union, let we start negotiations. And we could call out a big sale and we go buy out some Africans. Africans for sale, for sale, for sale. We buying Africans. Sing the thing. Africans for sale, for sale, for sale. We buying Africans. She don't have all she chance and she the honor rhymes. No, what she need is some slave names, man, some big strong Africans.
Africans for sale, for sale, for sale. We buying good or bad. Africans for sale, for sale, for sale. Tobago and Trinidad.
Oh, somebody pinch me. Hey, UNC sitting and they're waiting patiently. With about 16 safe seats, they don't win that already. The woman said, I have my people, and they are born UNCs. Now all I need is some Africans who got their names out of slavery. She said that she hear they're really selling cheap, and she could buy them very cheap, 500 and a jersey. A lot of people will cry when she's finished with CPEP, because she is not holding back them P and them have nothing to get. She said it's party before country, all you never, never forget. She will care for her people and she have no blasting regret. Africans for sale, for sale, for sale. We buying Africans. She buying Africans for sale, for sale. Listen, we buying Africans. She said we like crab in a barrel. We pulling each other down. But I want their votes, so I jam them the winning song. That's all they know it.
Africans
when you wins, everybody wins.
Africans for sale, for sale, for sale. Tobago and Trinidad.
The information provided by the speakers and/or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
Coming soon to Constructive Talk Network, Critical Thinkers. It's a youth show with a youth perspective on current affairs and issues in Trinidad and Tobago. Critical Thinkers, youth perspective on Constructive Talk.
The Constructive Talk team with Pastor Google are asking for your support in their back-to-school drive. Let's help the less fortunate children get ready for the new school term. Donations of notebooks, copybooks, stationeries, and book bags would be greatly appreciated. Show your love, show your generosity by contacting 464-703 and we will organize collection of your donations. Thank you from the Constructive Talk team. And remember to be kind, be generous, and be loved.
Yak and Friends proudly presents Uhuru 8. Join us on Saturday, July 25th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the City Hall Auditorium, Harris Promenade in San Fernando. This year's celebration is held in honor of Mr. Anthony Kamiziong as we continue strengthening our African ties through culture, unity, and heritage. Experience an unforgettable evening of African dance, powerful drumming, cultural expression, and a great food. Early bird tickets are $350 admits 2 and $200 admits 1. Come dressed in your finest African attire for a chance to win Best Dressed Male and Female. Celebrate African culture. Celebrate freedom. Celebrate Uhuru 8. For tickets, contact 684-1792 or ticket outlet at Something Special with Finishing Touch at Ritz Plaza, number 25, St. James Street in San Fernando.
Trinidad and Tobago. Get ready for an unforgettable evening of music, memories, and magic. On Saturday, June 20th, the legendary Carol Addison returns to TNT for one spectacular Father's Day concert experience. Just for Dad. Taking place at the iconic Queen's Hall St. Anne's. This promises to be an evening like no other. The Winifred Atwell Hall at Queen's Hall comes alive with Carol Addison. Special guest performances by the electrifying Carrie Lyons and the sensational Carol Jacobs. With special guest appearance by Dane Gulston, bringing together elegance, energy, and pure Caribbean excellence. Just for Dad. June 20th, Queen's Hall.
General admission tickets cost $300.
Get your tickets at the Queen's Hall box office
and the Trini Shop, Trin City Mall in Port of Spain.
Or call 681-1516 for more info. The perfect way to celebrate Father's Day, because he's worth every moment. Showtime, 7 p.m. sharp.
Brought to you by Ghana Artist Management Events, FT Farfan, Shamir, Bees Ice Cream, and supported by I-95.5 FM. Special reserve tickets are now available only at Queen's Hall at $500 each, which entitles patrons to a meet and greet mixer with refreshments after the concert.
All right, good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, the world. Those of you who are locked on all over the world, wherever you are, thank you very, very much for being a part of Constructive Talk this evening. And this evening, I have a special guest with me. I always say special guest because, you know what I mean? You know, you just get vexed, you know. You just get vexed now and then, but don't laugh. He's get vexed.
I only get vexed when you put me on the back burner for all your new high-powered friends. That's the only time I get upset.
But who is I don't know who you're talking about.
You only like no big shots now. You don't have time for me again.
You see, you continue to say that, and when you know, today I was walking I was on the coffee, and a lady said to me, she said, "Why is you treating my MP like that?"
Wonderful.
I say, wow. I say, Miss Lady, you do know that's a joke. No. My MP not joking.
Correct. You tell him, miss. Tell him
I
to treat his
say,
MP
where's
right.
this boy? I said, okay, ma'am. I said, okay, ma'am. I will fix that. She said, fix it soon. I just want to tell Trinidad and Tobago.
South people always looking out for me. Thank you, South. Thank you, South people. I appreciate it.
I just want to tell people I don't know what. Anyway, good evening, Mr. Manning, MP for San Fernando East. How are you, sir?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's been a tough few days in the Parliament. We've been leaving at 1 and 2 a.m. every time in the morning. So it's been a tough few days, but it's been good. It's been good.
Here now, I see that you have been walking in the community.
Yes.
Yes. So, how has that been going, though?
Yeah, well, we're really starting our community outreach program in San Fernando East, where we are revamping our infrastructure. We have some new area managers that was highlighted on the MP's page in the past few weeks. So we're really introducing those area managers to different communities throughout the constituency. And, we are, we're also having meetings to get feedback from constituents and also to let them know exactly what the party is doing and what is going on in the national sphere. So it's been a lot. Managing a constituency is a lot of work, but we are making sure that our infrastructure is well prepared so that we can properly represent the people of San Fernando. So a lot of things that need to be done, and about the job of getting things done.
Great. I'm seeing where Saturday I would say the Prime Minister, yes, the opposition leader, soon to be Prime Minister, Miss Penelope Peckles, was screening councillors, candidates, prospective candidates for different areas.
Local government election.
Yeah, and San Fernando East was one of the areas.
Yes, and we were looking at Marabella South Vistabella, which is an area that we did not win. We lost by 11 votes in the last local government election, and we decided to field Mr. Marcus Gedari as our candidate for that community in the next local government election, whenever that is called. It could be called this year or maybe next year. We are not certain, but it is due next year. But this government can decide to call it earlier. So we decided to field candidates at this point in time. He is well known within that community, and he's a previous councillor of that community. So, we expect to regain that seat for the San Fernando City Corporation.
Oh, okay. All right. Beautiful. So in your walkabouts, how has it been, Mr. Manning? Share with us some experiences. How has it been for you in this in the walkabout?
The outpouring of love from the community has been good, but what has been challenging is that the level of pain and suffering that's occurring throughout the constituency and throughout Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, we have, regardless of what this government is saying, and they like to paint a pretty picture in an attempt to gaslight and to deceive the people of this country, but we have entire communities in San Fernando East where everybody's unemployed, where entire communities are not working at this point in time. And it's been very difficult for everyone. We know there are lots of people, especially the NRHA workers, who were expecting to have their salaries regularized, but because they didn't support the government in the previous election, that has been placed on the back burner. And, of course, they are very upset. These would be persons who we depend on for our lives and our health. And they were on the front lines of this country during the COVID crisis in terms of keeping people safe and keeping people alive. And they feel like they are being poorly treated. So, we see more and more groups of people marching in this country, in some cases even violating the SOE regulations because they refuse to have their voices stifled and their will trampled by this government. So it's been very informative, really connecting with the people, hearing what they can say so I can better represent their interests in any form in which I can represent them.
Wow, that's interesting. That's really interesting. So I'm gonna be bold faced now and ask, when you come in on my street
But that's the question everybody asking. I keep telling people there are 27,000 people in San Fernando East, and there's one me on two legs. Okay? So I am coming, but please do not sit at home and wait for me to come to your area. I have office hours every Thursday afternoon. It's at 10 Navet Road. I'm there from 1 p.m. Please come see me or speak to an area manager or speak to a counselor or call the office for assistance, right? We're all here to assist you. But please do not sit at home and wait for your MP to arrive at your doorstep to voice your opinion or to ask for assistance. We are working and ready and available to assist you long before that.
You know, there are some people who would like for you to show up because they want to show you firsthand now. Firsthand, some of the
I
things.
get it. I get it. But, you can easily take a picture. You can, present it at the meeting. And definitely, I want to see firsthand. But again, it's 27,000 people. I can't see everything firsthand, and still do the job that you elected me to do. So we both have to meet in the middle somewhere.
Interesting. Wow. Interesting. Well, Mr. Manning, this evening I invited you to come on to share with Trinidad and Tobago what transpired yesterday evening in the Parliament. Mm-hmm. But before we talk about the walkout, I also want to ask you to share with Trinidad and Tobago what are your thoughts about this mid-year review. And, there's so much things that are and I really want to play some clips from tonight news because you can put in perspective some of the things from being in the debate to the listeners. 1, 2, I saw where you talked about the NIS.
Yes.
And I want to deal with that a little bit. Huh?
Yeah, we had this discussion on your show before.
Right.
And this is what especially when I have a challenge with the PSA about. The PSA want to talk and talk and talk, and the PSA president want to straw up on a political platform, which no union leader should ever do. Not all of the people you represent are for the PNM or for the UNC. So why, as the leader of a union, would you politicize yourself and appear on a political platform? You see that now you are compromised, and now you cannot be a person to represent the people who elected you, because now we're going to think that you're partisan, that you're for this side or you're against this side, and that you're not doing what is in the best interest of the people who elected you. We discussed the government came in the middle of the night, right, and they increased the NIS contribution rate and also raised the retirement age to age 65. For the entire public service. Okay? There was not a single objection or even discussion from the PSA. Nothing. Right? And what we have said is, last year, the rate was, I think, 13.2. This year, the rate was increased to 16.2. Guess what the rate is going to be next year?
They're going to raise it again?
19.2. Almost 20% of your salary will be going into NIS contribution from next year. While Ms. Felicia here is negotiating for a 10% salary increase, where 4%, where they say 40% going to be cash and 60% going to be non-cash, whatever that non-cash is comprised of. So you tell me, what kind of salary increase are you really getting, do you think? When they raise it and when they raise NIS contribution by 6% in 2 years, and then add taxes to everything else to increase the cost of living. So what do you think that increase you're getting? What do you think that amounts to at the end of the day? Almost nothing. The government is giving with one hand and taking back even more with the other hand. Excuse me. And that is the point that we've been trying to make and point out to the people of this country. Do not be deceived. But Miss Felicia can't come out and say that now because she has compromised herself by sliding herself in bed with this government. And when I say she has sold out her membership, that is exactly what I mean. She cannot come out now and confront this government and speak on behalf of public servants because she is compromised. And to me, you cannot continue in your role after you've compromised yourself like that. That is my professional opinion.
Wow. No, Trinidad and Tobago, those of you who are listening, Mr. Manning and I would have went in depth into that discussion on this program. And I was really glad that he highlighted it in the budget, in the mid-year review, because it just says that, despite what people might say or think or do, he brought it nationally so that people can be aware. People can be aware, and I see people posting up this banter between you and Miss Jolene John.
Yes. As soon as they cannot defend the substance of what it is they're doing, they start attacking you personally. Right? That's when you know they've lost the argument. They cannot. I said to Miss John that she was the one on the political platform during the election who told this whole entire country that she was going to pave every single road in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? That was her promise, not mine. I didn't say that. Miss Jolene John told Trinidad and Tobago that she was going to pave every single road in Trinidad and Tobago. Almost a year plus later, and every time we come to Parliament and we ask Miss John about what road she has paved, have you paved this road? When are you paving this road? And so on. The answer is always going to be patching here, we patching there, we patching everywhere. We patching. So I started to call her the Minister of Patching, not paving. And the lady became so incensed that she decided to say that I sell out my father and all kind of, and that I bitter and blah, blah, blah. Like, lady, I'm not bitter. No, I here to do my job. It's not my job to make you like me. I'm a member of the opposition. I'm here to do my job. Okay? And that is to bring truth and the facts to the people of this country. But as soon as you call them out on their incompetence, the first resort is to start to talk about your father this, your father that, your mother, your uncle this, your sister, your brother. Oh, you had a family member working in the government, public service somewhere. It is utter nonsense. And there's a bold-faced attempt to hide the incompetence and just the deceit of this government.
Well, I saw where a public servant would have dealt to them tonight with this narrative that they tried to push concerning tea and tech. I don't know if you heard it.
I missed it. What is that?
Yeah, I'm going to play it for you to hear. He said to them, he basically said to them that you all did it in 2010. So don't try to come now with a narrative to tell the nation that, this is something, this is some corruption, right? Or this is some underhand nonsense. When you all were in office in 2010, he said, and he was the director, I believe he said that he was the director. And he said that, hey, when I was there, you all did that in 2010. So don't try to come now with your nonsense.
Listen, there have been so many blatant attempts at gaslighting this country. I mean, the Minister of Energy, Mr. Munilal, the Honorable Minister, saying that investors are breaking down our door to invest in Trinidad and Tobago. To what? To pay the Minister of Finance higher tax rates? To pay the increased price of gas that NGC now trying to charge downstreamers in the energy sector, where we have local downstreamers shutting down their plants rather than to pay the higher costs that they want to charge for gas. That is what we have investors breaking down our doors to do. It's total nonsense. They're just flat out lying to people. Gaslighting is a nice way of saying they're just lying to people. And the Minister of Finance is funding the operations of this country because they have done nothing to improve our revenue position, funding this country basically on debt. He is borrowing money or he is refusing to pay off loans that are due and are refinancing all of them, which is extending the life of the loans and further increasing our recurrent expenditure going forward. That is what he's doing. And I remember I was on a show previously and I explained exactly what refinancing means with the $1 billion bond, US bond that they took out. The initial bond was taken out under the PNM, $1 billion at a 4.5% interest rate. So what you would do is you would pay a semi-annual coupon on the loan, and then at the end of the term of the loan, you would pay a bullet payment of $1 billion, essentially principal on the loan. Right? I hope I haven't lost anybody there. So now when it is time now to pay that $1 billion bullet payment to close off that loan, to retire the loan, what they do is they borrow another $1 billion from elsewhere to pay off the original $1 billion loan. So they did that, and what they did now is actually borrow at a higher rate. The first one was at 4.5%. The second one was at 6.5%. So they pay off the first one, and now they are paying even higher semi-annual payments at 6.5% into the foreseeable future. And they want to fool people into thinking that is somehow a good thing. Nothing good about that. Nothing good. But that's the story they want to sell. When you call them out, they want to get personal. Talk about your mother, your father, your sister, all kind of nonsense. I have enough to talk about the incompetence of this government that I don't have to go in nobody's house. And I'm not that kind of person to follow people's personal business anyway. What Miss John and the AG and whoever else do behind closed doors is none of my concern. I really couldn't care less. But what you do in your ministry and what you do with taxpayers' dollars and how it affects the people of this country, that is my concern. And I'm going to call them out every opportunity I have when they're doing foolishness.
Wow. Well, Mr. Manning, I don't know, but I don't think that Trinidadians understand the depth of what it is you just said there. Honestly.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people know. You see, what we talked about with NIS, is it that employers are not taking it out, so it is not really affecting people? Because I'm not hearing any private citizens. I'm not hearing anybody
voting.
I
think people have been complaining about it. They notice it in their check. I mean, you must notice a 3% additional withdrawal from your money, right? So, and then now you're going to notice another 3% next year. That's 6%. That's a significant increase in contribution overnight. And you have to work till age 65 to get what, $3,000, $3,500 a month upon retirement? Okay, right? How Miss Felicia and the PSA had no problem with that. You would have to tell me, because if the PNM did that, I know they'd be rioting in the streets, right? They'd be ready to burn down town. But this government does it under the still of night, and not a word from the PSA, nothing. Which public servant is happy with that arrangement? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But we know we have a caller with us called 10%. I want to hear what he had to say. He just come in and he just say he vote for Felicia. So I wonder if he vote for this. I am wondering if he voted for this.
So blind. Public servants cannot be so blind that they cannot see that the president and current executive have been compromised. They are no longer working on your behalf. They are working on behalf of the government of Trinidad. They are working on behalf of the UNC, the United National Congress. That is why Ms. Felicia would stand on a UNC platform and speak on behalf of the UNC. And then last year, when you get false promises, everybody getting their back pay by Christmas. Remember that?
Yes.
Back pay by Christmas, everybody. Don't take on Manning. He don't know what he's saying. He trying to come all kind of names. When the personal attack start, you know they lost. Right? All kind of names you call them. I say, Miss Felicia, if they don't get their back pay by Christmas, I want you to resign from the PSA. But I'm not doing that. But back pay, everybody getting back pay by Christmas. We're in June, she's still negotiating back pay. Still discussing. And now fussing because the government gave her a 6 for a 9 and tell her, well, we're going to give you 40% in cash and 60% in non-cash. And that is it. That's not negotiation. They're telling you that this is what we're giving you and that's it. What negotiation is that? Right? So I want to hear Ms. Felicia will tell the country eventually.
Well, I want to play for you one of the stories from the news this evening where one of the former head of TNTech would have dispelled and just say, here what now, leave that's nonsense with this TNTech name and special listen. So listen to what he had to say. Take a listen to this, Mr. Manning. All right, and those of you on the live, remember you. Okay. All right. We're back up and running. So, we want to play for you all this video. All right? We want to play for you all this video. So, take a listen, Mr. Manning. But you heard what the man is saying, right?
Yes, I heard what he said. Yeah.
All right. So, we're going back again for Trinidad and Tobago, didn't hear.
TNTech General Manager, who served under the United National Congress in 2010, is tonight rejecting suggestions that a so-called protected list was created to benefit PNM officials.
And while PNM officials deny receiving preferential treatment, the source says the practice has existed for decades and applies to senior public figures across political administrations. Doris Polo has the story.
Let me call some of those names, Mr. Speaker. That protected list, so the public can judge for itself. Keith Rowling, Sharon Rowling, Marvin Gonzalez.
Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar sparked controversy this week after naming several former government officials whom she said appeared on a TNTech protected list. Among them were opposition leader Penelope Beckles, former National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines, and former Works and Transport Minister Rohan Sinanan. But former TNTech General Manager Glenford Cyril says the list is nothing new.
All MPs, members of Parliament, are afforded the privilege of being on the list. All. Certainly, in her first stint as Prime Minister, she would have been on the list.
Cyril, who served under a UNC administration during the period 2011 to 2012, says the list was designed to flag accounts belonging to public officials and other prominent figures so they could be contacted directly if problems arose. He says customers on the list were still required to pay their bills and could ultimately face disconnection if they failed to do so.
It's a very ticklish thing because you've seen all the comments of that. If we owe into $100, they come in and they continue, but these big shots until yes, people will say that, but that is not. They have to pay. It's just that they are notified and given the opportunity to pay up their account.
A former senior public official speaking on condition of anonymity gave a similar account, describing the arrangement as a long-standing customer service practice involving ministers, senators, diplomats, and other office holders. The source said the objective was to notify account holders before disconnection action was taken, not to exempt them from payment. Meanwhile, former Public Utilities Minister Marvin Gonzalez has strongly denied receiving any special treatment.
I regard the Prime Minister's conduct in the Parliament under parliamentary cover yesterday to be most egregious, scandalous, unbecoming of a Prime Minister. But why should we be surprised? The Prime Minister continues to behave in her normal self, supported by a hapless and irresponsible, reckless Minister of Public Utilities.
And former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said he was also unaware of any list and denied receiving special treatment, sharing an image of a recent bill which did not accrue any arrears. Former Ministers Renuka Sagram Singh Suklal, Shamfa Kojo, and Dr. Nian Gatsby Dolly have also denied receiving preferential treatment and insist their bills are up to date. The Prime Minister did not respond to CNC3 News' request for comment on the matter. Attempts to get a response from TNTech officials were also unsuccessful. Doris Polo, CNC3 News.
So, Mr. Manning, how your name may call?
Yeah, but that's what I asking myself. I tell you, I'm in the wrong circles. I didn't even make it to the TNTech protected list.
The TNTech protected list, boy? Who going on with you?
If I forget to pay my bill, they come in to scandalize me and to turn off my lights and make all my neighbors laugh at me, I guess. I don't know. I didn't make it. I don't stop lining with you. I think that is the problem. I don't find some new. I don't do like you and line with some big shots from now on.
Well, I am surprised your name not on that list. I was looking forward to. I was looking forward. I was actually looking forward tonight to say to you, hey, your name on big list, boy. But it so happened that you took that list, boy.
Even the people in Parliament were shocked when they heard their names on the list. They're like, what list? What are you talking about? But it just goes to show, and the Prime Minister, this is in the middle of the mid-year review. Right, this is an important exercise where we're examining the economy of Trinidad and Tobago and the status of that economy. And it should be where every government ministry is reporting to the people what it is they have achieved thus far and what it is they plan to do going forward for the rest of the fiscal year and even beyond. The Prime Minister uses every opportunity to try to distract from the serious business that was taking place. Every opportunity. She won a bus mark. She wanted to make wild accusations. Most of them already have been found to not be true. Why would the Prime Minister do something like that? If the economic news that they had to give to the people was good news. Right? Ask yourself that serious question. If they had to come to Parliament and say, yeah, everything good, we clear all the debts, we improve revenues by 50%, we created 50,000 new jobs, everybody working, and things going well. You think she would interrupt that good news by trying to bust Mark and make wild accusations to distract from that achievement? Absolutely. She thinks we're all fools. And we're not. We're seeing through the facade and what they're trying to do. They know this economy is in dire straits, and they'll do everything to try to distract from that reality.
Wow. Well, we can't distract us because I want to play for you now what was said in the news this evening, one. And two, you know, CNC3 have a segment where whatever is the pressing issues of Trinidad and Tobago, they just try to ask people on the street what are their thoughts about it. So you're going to hear a news item about the media review, and after they do the news item, they asked people on the ground to how you feel about it. And I want you to hear what some people had to say. Take a listen to this.
The mid-year review may be over, but for small business owners, the worries are far from gone.
From St. James to Aranguez, business owners say rising costs are squeezing their trade and threatening their survival. Shane Superville has more.
Following Monday's mid-year budget review presentation, concerns are still high among business owners who are worried about what the future holds. In St. James, vendors say that the cost of living and goods have made their trade difficult, with sales few and far between. Owner of the Ultimate Meat Shop, Mark, says that closure may be imminent if business doesn't pick up soon.
We just came out of a meeting there as to we're weighing and measuring if it does make sense or is it feasible to stay open, because the overhead expenses and the rent and so on, we're not turning over enough to handle those things. Far less pay our worker.
And while he's cautiously optimistic that the upcoming budget would give a much-needed ease to small business owners, everyday expenses are still a major concern.
Probably about $500 a day to keep the place open. Of course, we're going to have depreciation of the equipment and so on, but we're barely covering $200 a day in sales. Yeah, so it's extremely slow.
Meanwhile, in Aranguez, owner of Vargas Roti Shop, Kanisha Vargas, also reports that business has seen much better times, joking that the eatery saw much more frequent sales during the COVID-19 pandemic. But Vargas says the wider community is most affected.
People are unemployed and they don't have jobs to actually buy food anymore. So that will be the main issue, that people they don't have any money to spend.
She says there's one important food item she hopes doesn't increase in price for the new fiscal year.
Will be meats, yeah, and particular like red meats. They keep going up and up, and they don't go up by $2. More or less, they go up by $8, $10, $15. So when you check it here, yeah.
It's a shared hope for several business people and customers alike. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
The National Trade Union Center is welcoming government's commitment to address outstanding payments and back pay for public sector workers, but says the country needs a broader economic strategy that goes beyond fiscal measures. Michael Anisat said while the announcement of payments in 2027 is a positive step for workers who have been waiting for years, government must also outline a clear plan for economic transformation, sustainable jobs, and preparing citizens for the future.
The public sector workers, the daily rated workers, the port workers, all the different government institutions and quasi-government bodies, right, have been laboring under some economic difficulties because, to not get wage increases for that period of time right, creates all kinds of financial and economic hazard for the workers.
Anisette said NATUC welcomes the commitment, but believes the national discussion must extend beyond outstanding payments. He argued that a national budget should not only focus on revenue and expenditure, but should also communicate government's long-term direction.
We must know what is the vision and what is the plan. We cannot just see a budget in the context of fiscal measures only. We have to speak on a wider basis, like our educational system. Is it fit for purpose? When do we change it to generate the kind of students, right, and the kind of citizens that we want for the real world of work? These things are fundamental. These things are critical.
Meanwhile, TUTA has rejected government's timeline for settling outstanding payments, saying members remain frustrated by repeated delays. The Nursing Association has since said its members are happy about government's commitment. Anisette said NATUC believes the way forward requires stronger collaboration between government, labor, and other stakeholders.
Meanwhile, former Finance Minister Karen Nunes Teixeira says the mid-year budget review presented by Finance Minister Dave Tanku yesterday does not indicate any economic turnaround for this country.
He felt that the government had succeeded in bringing the economy back to a positive position as he saw it. I don't think that's correct. The macroeconomic indicators which show you the health of a national economy do not support that.
And political analyst Derek Ramsamouj says the mid-year budget review was much ado about nothing.
According to Ramsamouj, there was no indication on how the finance minister intends to manage the country's debt.
We have yet to understand how we're going to finance a $60 billion economy, because that's what we'll be facing without getting into further and further debt.
Ramsamouj notes that the country was expecting changes when it comes to financial management and the daily impact of society.
We must recognize that when the government changed slightly over a year ago, there was a high expectation that we will see a change in the economy, a change in the security, change being the operative word. We therefore expected a new government with such a mandate to utilize the resources of the state to better govern our society. We are having more of the status quo when it comes to managing the resources of the state and delivering value for money to the average family.
Well, in light of the mid-year budget review, we asked, are you confident in the direction the economy is heading?
This is what you had to tell us today.
Right now it's hard. So it's a hard no, but I suppose you had to get the bad before the good come.
Yes, I am. And I think that, well, in light of the 2 billion and stuff like that, and the oil prices going up, and we have a new government, and we have we're hoping for better days. We got some good feedback from Moody. We got some other little things that the government seems to be working on. They seem to know what they are about.
It's promising, but I believe good times could come forward if everything works out smoothly.
Presently, yes, I am. I believe that the present government may have a proper foothold on the way things are going. Things seem to be, people complaining that things aren't going as they would like, but for change to be effective, things have to go a little bad before it goes good.
After listening to the debate that just was taking place in the House for the mid-year review, I felt very heartened and encouraged that things are stabilizing in our economy, and I would commend the government for making the efforts that they are making.
No, we are getting taxed more, and then the prices of everything are going up.
So you heard that, Mr. Manning?
Yes, I heard it.
All right. So before I know that it's a lot. It was a lot. So you heard from business owners first, right? You heard from business owners talking about the midterm review, talking about what they're facing. They're worried about a man who has a meat shop. He is concerned. Right?
Most of them are speaking about escalating costs. Huh?
Yes.
We're talking about the increasing costs of doing business and the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago. That's because of the government. That's because of what they've done with all their taxes.
And he said that it takes $500 a day to run the business. He said, and they barely make 200. They barely make 200 in sales a day.
Correct. So how are you going to stay in business doing that?
That's why he would have indicated that they may have to. That's why he would have indicated that they may have to shut down.
Correct, and that's very sad. And I'm hearing that all over the country from especially small business people. And the previous government had a lot of initiatives available for small business people, from advice to loans, all kinds of programs. They got tax breaks to really facilitate small business in Trinidad and Tobago. You can't even hear this government say anything about small business. We spoke in there for hours, and as some of the speakers said during an interview, and you couldn't even hear any direction for the economy.
And that's there.
General, in a serious debate, talking about cheese paste. You know, I mean, the Attorney General really just made a fool of himself during his contribution in the Parliament, and I had to call him out for it because he's a senior person in this country who should know better, and he has a moment to present to the people and to offer some sort of sensible direction for economy. He started talking about cheese paste, who spend money on cheese paste and who like cheese paste, and then he gave a totally fraudulent statement in terms of retiring some of the debt he said the Minister of Finance retired the $1 billion bond debt. He didn't retire the debt; he refinanced it. He took out more debt to pay higher rates semi-annually every year. That's what he did. Don't come now and say that he retired the debt. He didn't. You know, so it was a total disaster. And I don't think any of the ministers there came prepared, and none of them gave any kind of direction as to what it is or a list of achievements, except for a handful. But most of it was just PNM, busting mark, just accuse this one to try to distract from the fact that they have no accomplishments to present to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs got $0 in this mid-year review. $0 additional dollars. How do you say you don't care without saying you don't care? Ask the Minister of Sport, because the Minister of Finance told him he doesn't care. Okay?
Wow.
How many young people we have depending on the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs of various programs, especially since the Ministry of the Ministry of National Service and Youth Development, I think it was called. That was rolled into the Ministry of Sport, National Service and Youth Development. And all of the youth programs were there. And most of them have been shut down and now no longer exist. So they don't need funding? They don't need funding too? Why give the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs nothing? Zero.
Yeah. But while listening to even the people who were talking, so we got the outline from one businessman. Then they spoke to another businesswoman, and her concerns, because she sells roti and food, right? And her concerns were the high cost of meat, and she was wondering if she's praying and hoping that they don't raise the cost of meat, right?
Well, a lot of our inflation, especially where food is concerned, is imported, right? We import a lot of our meat, unless she's buying locally. But even then, a lot of our local meat producers would be importing feed and so on. So because of what's going on between the United States and Iran, it caused the price of oil to skyrocket worldwide. And everything runs on oil. So once the price of oil goes up, the cost of everything goes up. So with that, with the importing meat from international sources, it would be more expensive. Plus, the Minister of Finance added 100% additional duty to every container deport. 100% additional duty. So that would add an additional cost to anybody importing meat. Plus, he reduced the cost of LPG, which are many of these food shops use for producing their food. Plus, he increased the cost of commercial electricity rates, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Plus, he increased the cost of commercial landlord owners, right? So if you're a commercial landlord and you're renting to some of these people, they're gonna have to pay that too. They have to pay the additional rate, not so? So when you add up even the cost of plastic bags, I remember they added an additional cost to that. So after you add up all of that, you are putting many of these business people out of business. As I said during my contribution, businesses that survive numerous administrations, survive recessions, survive hurricanes, survive a global pandemic, right? Couldn't last 1 year under this Minister of Finance. Couldn't last a year. Businesses that have been around for generations, survive family infighting, survive robberies, all of that couldn't survive 12 months under Mr. Tax Coup.
Wow.
But if I bring that up, you want to say, well, your father and your mother and your uncle and this and everybody do that and so on and so on. That's how they operate. That is how they operate. They have no good story to tell, so they try to distract.
And I'm also looking at in the news that we heard a while ago, we heard where Anisette would have spoken about for the unions, and he's very hopeful that the unions do get their money that is owed to them in the budget from the midterm, the back pay and all of that. But you know what confuses me, Mr. Manning? Let me tell you what confuses me. Why I am a little confused. Now, in the budget, right? In the budget, the minister would have called out tutor, construction union, military, and some unions who he owed their salaries increase and their back pay. Right? And he said that promise made, promise is going to be kept. And he told them that they will get their money. You remember that?
Yes.
Don't tell me yes and you can't remember, you know, how the video you had to play, you know.
No. He didn't say when. That's the whole trick.
He didn't say when?
He didn't say when, did he?
Hey, Mr. Manning, don't do me that. Do me that.
You tell me, did he say when? I don't think so.
Mr. Manning, you really doing me that?
Go ahead, you tell me, go ahead.
I go in and find that clip. Nah.
Listen, it has to be allocated in the budget, and it's only done after the negotiations, after they come to an agreement, right? It's just not willing. You can't decide tomorrow and then come and collect all your money. It has to be agreed upon first. Then it's budgeted, and then it has to be approved by Parliament. Have you seen any additional money for these persons approved by Parliament? Then it's not coming. It's not coming until that happens.
Nah.
That's the bottom line.
Mr. Manning, the gentleman.
I am the purveyor of truth, okay? I can only tell you what I know to be true. Right? Have these guys settled their negotiations for back pay and increase? Has that happened yet? If not, then it's not coming anytime soon. Because the budget for the rest of the year has been completed. Right? The fiscal year ends at the end of September. The end of September. And then we have to have a budget presentation. And then it could be approved there by Parliament. And then maybe they could get paid after that. But it didn't happen before September.
that is why the tutor man was behaving the way he was behaving, you know.
Correct. He was upset because he thought that was too long of a wait, and he might be right.
Mr. Manning, you telling me that when we listen to the Minister of Finance in the budget, right? I kind of confused now in all here. Should I be confused, you know?
That's exactly what he's trying to do. So you don't understand what he's doing. Kind of confuse people. That's why you have to listen carefully and slowly, right? Because they're just trying to confuse people. It can only be approved by Parliament, and that is only after negotiation and agreement has been arrived. That's why Ms. Felicia is still negotiating to this day, because she vexed with the 40% cash and 60% non-cash, and CPO has told her, "Hey girl, that is all we have, that's all you get it, so take it or leave it." While she was telling membership from the start that they was getting 10% increase in cash, 100%, not so. She didn't tell nobody no platform non-cash. Unless I missed it, did you hear us say non-cash on any platform?
No, she didn't.
Public servants, you'll get non-cash. So all of a sudden, now she had to go back to the same public servants who she promised 100% cash and tell them, them people who platform a jump up on for election, yeah, they give me a 6 for a 9 now. So I could only give you a 40% in cash, and the rest is non-cash. Then they'll say, well, what is non-cash? Well, they might get a tax break here, a coupon there, this and a reduction in this here. And she knows very well what the response of her membership will be when that happens. That is not what they signed up for.
Well,
that is almost exactly what the PNM had promised the public servants in their negotiation. It's what, 4%? 4% cash, right? 40% cash, I think is what it is. Of 10%. Okay.
I ain't sure. Right now I lost the words, you know.
So that is the trick. It's just smoke and mirrors. Nothing is straightforward with these people. Nothing is honest. Nothing is direct.
Wow. I am okay. So we listened to the Economist Sunday, and we heard what Mr. Tishara said. Mr. Tishara is saying that here we're going on now. To think that budget is not hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that budget is not hopeful at all.
Yes. You saw Mala Dukaran, who was a vociferous opponent of the previous Minister of Finance, saying that we're heading towards debt default. We're heading towards defaulting debt in this country. And I'm telling you, if we default on our debts, all of the government's debt come due immediately. That is written into every covenant of every debt that the government borrows. When that happens, you're going to have to end up going to the IMF or somebody else for money, and they are going to ask you to dramatically reduce your current expenditure. Guess what is your largest part of this government's recurrent expenditure? It's going to be salaries. Next is going to be transfers and subsidies. Okay? And what is that going to mean? It's going to mean a dramatic reduction of employment in the public service. So the people of this country were warned. We said so over and over. We didn't overpromise. We told people exactly what was affordable and sensible for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This government decided to do something different. So we'll see what happens.
Wow. But then when we listen to the response of some of the persons on the street, what are your thoughts about those persons on the street and how they felt?
I have to wonder what they live in. Like, it hasn't hit them yet. What country?
People are very hopeful, Mr. Manning. People are very hopeful.
No. So why all the business people won't hopeful? It's because they haven't really transferred many of their costs to people just yet. It hasn't hit, I guess, some segments of our society. But none of the business people sounded hopeful because they feel in the pain. And at some point, they may feel to either to increase their prices or go out of business. And when people start to feel those increased prices, then we will see who is who. Why none of the business people were optimistic and hopeful? Because they feel it first. Then the consumer next. Right? So let's see.
Wow. Mr. Manning, this is different, you know. I don't think and as you rightfully say, the difference between the persons who would have spoken, who the normal man on the ground, and the business is that it is affecting them.
It's completely different. Because the business people get affected first with the landlord tax. Many of the business people, they're renting where they're getting additional tax there. They get a tax on imported goods in the port. They have to pay that up front, right? Or get 30 days, 60 days, 90-day credit, right? So that's a challenge there. You have to pay a higher price for LPG gas if you're running a food business. Higher price. They're paying higher price of plastic bags. Well, you may not want to immediately share those costs with the public because you know that it might dramatically affect your revenues. But at some point, it's going to be too much of a cost for them to carry.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to share it with the public. And then people are going to see what it looks like. I don't know how many people that the individual unemployed. We have a significant unemployment issue in this country. So I know those people can't be happy.
But what do you call them? The people who just do the statistics and thing.
CSO?
Yeah, but they're not saying that.
Sir, well, all I'm going to say is that if you were listening to the finance bill that we debated right after the budget, the finance bill is usually the bill brought to Parliament to implement the initiatives in the national budget, right?
Right.
So we had two of them, Finance Bill 2025, Finance Bill 2026. In the Finance Bill 2025, the governor of the central bank, and I pointed it out, was given direct access to proprietary and private information at the CSO. Direct access to this information before it becomes public. Right? Politically appointed former Minister of Finance under a UNC government and now the person in charge of the central bank, governor of the central bank, has direct access to see a private CSO data before it becomes public. Right? I say no more than that. Because the figures that they're given do not make sense in some cases.
No, it's not adding up.
Quarter, they can't say, you can't tell me you just lay off all these thousands of people. It had no drive for employment, but unemployment somehow went down from the previous quarter by 8,000 people. Where does 8,000 people got employed? It should be obvious to the entire society where those people got employed if that actually happened. Nobody can say where. So how is that possible? 8,000 people fell off the face of the earth? Come on.
How do we solve this issue, Mr. Manning?
Stop putting these people in office. Okay? Right, sad to say, elections have consequences. We've always said that. We have given this banditocracy that is the UNC control over certain things, and we have given them a constitutional majority in some cases. Right? So the way the Westminster system works, that the opposition will have its say, but the government will have its way. So I could talk, I could go to the parliament, warn people, alert people to what the issues are, let them know what is going on. And at the end of the day, the government is going to implement the initiatives that they have been given the power to implement by the electorate. Don't tell me you look at a UNC lineup and see people out on bail and you still put them in office. What you expect? You endorsing criminality and then surprised that they're criminals? Half the UNC bench been investigated from their first time in office. And the next group out on bail. You have a gentleman in the house who was appointed by the government who spent the time in prison. And what did you expect when you put them in office? Honesty? Come on, Trinidad and Tobago. Let's grow up, please. Let us grow up. Okay?
You know, the other thing that I looked at and listened to is how I listened to Miss Khadija Amin with the program that she's doing. Now, this is the same government that has been very, very vocal and anti-CPEP grass cutting. Yes. But you all have people doing the same thing or less because
the same work.
I don't understand.
Yes, I think they call it the public spaces maintenance or cleaning program. I think is what it's called.
Right.
Which is basically small CPEP. Right? CPEP Junior. Okay, and her ministry contacted me on 2 or 3 occasions. Nice letter asking me to submit names to participate in this wonderful program. Guess how many names were requested from the MP of San Fernando East, who is MP for approximately 27,000 people. Guess how many names they asked me for employment?
10.
The answer is 2. Okay. They sent me a nice letter to ask me to send them 2 names for the entire constituency. I said, well, how nice of them. That is nice. So I have a list of people in my office who are unemployed, looking for assistance, looking for help, and they're asking me now to pick 2 on this whole list.
2 names, you say, you know?
2. We gotta look for the most destitute person, the person who needed the most, person with 5 children and have no job. You know, that's what they're forcing you to do.
Wow.
2 names they asked for.
Wow.
Okay.
I hope Trinidad and Tobago will listening to this, and boy.
I guess it's better than none, right? So, but let me say, the part of the national budget, especially recurrent expenditure, the largest segment of it usually is transfers and subsidies in Trinidad and Tobago, which is about 50% of the national budget. Next is salaries. After that is debt and goods, right? And the next portion of it is about 10 to 15%. The next portion is 5 to 10% of capital investment, expenditure on roads and other, infrastructural works and so on. So if we end up going to some institution that demands that we have to reduce our recurrent expenditure, it is inevitably going to have to come out of transfers and subsidies and salaries. And salaries means, as one would put it, the right sizing of the public service, which will mean unemployment. Okay.
You know that America and what do you call it? America and Iran.
Iran.
You know that they reached an agreement.
Yes, I saw that they reached an agreement. So we'll see how soon.
So does that mean that our gas, our oil? Does that mean that our oil?
The price of oil should come down?
Yeah.
Yes, that is what we expect. The price of oil to come down.
And if the price of oil, okay. How soon? Oh, you don't know how soon that might happen. And if that does happen,
we can't say.
But if that does happen, well, not if, when it does happen, what was the real? Was the real?
But that's the point Minister Inwood was making. He is saying that you got the Moody's upgrade from what is it? It was to stable, right?
Yeah.
It was. We got to upgrade to stable, right? because of the additional revenues coming from the increased energy prices. But it had nothing to do with what the government did. Our production of oil and gas has not improved dramatically. So the only way that we have improved our revenues is because of the increased revenues coming from oil and gas. But that, of course, is going to go away as soon as the US-Iran conflict is over. And it looks like they've reached an agreement, and it's over. So it's only a matter of time that that these prices would go down. And, we move from a negative rating to a stable rating because of that. So when it goes away, what should we expect? We'll see.
Mr. Manning, this is not sounding hopeful,
Well, I can only present the facts. And that's how I present. I work with data. So with data, you present data as is. Some people get angry at the truth. I never understood people get angry at the truth. Regardless of how you feel about it, the truth is the truth. Right? Regardless of how you feel about it, not going to change the truth. Facts over feelings. So I present raw, uncut facts to people, and then they decide how they want to process that reality. I can only present the truth to people.
Mr. Manning. So, boy, oh boy. And you know what's the next thing too I'm watching at in the news? I'm watching how you saw you heard what happened with Russia and England.
I missed that one.
Russia, England is accusing Russia of shooting a missile at them.
No, I didn't see that news report.
Yeah.
I usually look at the news very closely, but the last few days I've been
you was watching the basketball. You was watching the basketball.
That too. Plus I was watching the NBA final, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I may have missed that.
Yeah. The basketball got more of your attention than anything else.
I like how all these New York fans just come out of nowhere. All them Knicks fans that getting embarrassed since the Bulls days. I see a fella pull out a jersey. It had to be from 1998.
If I go inside and pull out my Knicks cap, you'll see.
No, you see, all them Knicks fans who getting embarrassed by Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, all these years had their Knicks jersey put away. I never see so many old Knicks jerseys come out of nowhere. All of a sudden, all the Knicks fans.
Yeah, well, we have a jersey, and we have a cap.
Yeah.
and don't start me because I'll coincide from a cap and put it on the program.
I'm happy for all of you. I enjoyed all the years of Michael Jordan, embarrassing all of you. So I guess I should allow you to enjoy your little moment in the sun.
Yeah, but what about anyway? If you're talking, I will go down. We'll talk that next time. When I see you, we will talk that next time. So we're looking at Mr. Manning. We are looking at our economy right now, and as you rightfully said, Mr. Imbert would have said to us, "Here, what? The only reason why we saw stability is because of what was happening with Iran and America. When that has come to a halt, we are now having to the reality of what the situation that we are in is going to hit our nation. What are we? What? I know that you said. I heard you said on a morning show. You said to them, "This is why the TTRA was very important."
It was extremely important. Extremely important. And again, the government and Miss Felicia did something that was not in the best interest of public servants and the national community in this country. The PSA went to great lengths to undermine and destroy the TTRA, claiming that the TTRA was going to be a PNM party group, was going to undermine the democracy and all kind of foolishness. The matter went to the Privy Council. The Privy Council said that the TTRA would have been an independent body that would have been free of political influence. It was designed to democratize tax collection. It would have brought the BIR and other tax collection agencies in the country together under one umbrella and made it far more difficult for people to avoid paying taxes and for money laundering to take place in Trinidad and Tobago. Right now, we have lots of big businesses that are not paying their taxes in a timely manner, and the enforcement is not there. We also have a lot of highly paid professional people in private practice who are not paying their taxes. Right? We have fast food people across the country not paying any taxes. And if everyone paid their fair share of taxes in this country, we could reduce the tax load on all of us. And what the international experts and independent agencies have deduced is that we have a tax gap. That is the amount of money the government could be collecting from taxes if everybody paid their fair share. But they're not collecting. We have a tax gap of about $10 billion annually from people not paying their fair share. $10 billion. How easy would it have been if the government could have collected a fraction of that $10 billion to pay public servants salary increases and the back pay that they wanted? How much easier would it have been to cover a lot of these costs and recurrent expenditure that the government is incurring? We could have paid off debt, we could have increased our recurrent expenditure and paid public servants the salary increases that they actually wanted instead of this non-cash nonsense. Ms. Felicia and friends, because they're in the pocket of this government, and the UNC went out of their way and worked hand in hand with the United National Congress to crush the TTRA. And that's something that, in my view, this cannot be forgiven. It cannot. You shot yourselves in the foot, and you shot this country's economy in the foot for political purposes. Which public servant benefited from the collapse of the TTRA? Not one, none. So I don't get it.
But Mr. Manning, you know what is the Brent crude? What? All right, so you could clear this up for me. What is the WTI crude? Hello?
Sorry, say it again.
Was it WTI crude and I know the Brent crude?
Yeah, well, the different kinds of what do you call it? International price setters for oil and gas, right? The WTI stands for West Texas Intermediate crude oil, right? And that's usually the American price. Brent is the UK or European price for oil. So there's a lot of oil trading, especially with futures and the futures markets going through the United States and going through the United Kingdom or the FTSE. So that's how they measure the price of oil by trading. And trading is really demand and supply. Right? They create markets for different price and different grades and different types of oil and gas across the planet. And that's why they come up with a international, in this case, a geographical or regional price for oil. One is American, the other is British.
Well, I'm seeing the prices at 79.86 and 77.02. So that means the price is going down.
Yes, it's coming down with the U.S.-Iran peace accord. You should see the price steadily reduce.
That's a serious. It has already started to reduce.
Correct.
Mr. Manning, this is not Mr. Manning. Yeah, but Mr. Manning, yes. This is not a walk in the park thing.
No. And what they prevented them from doing is that how the HSF works is that if you have international oil price above the oil price set in the national budget, they are not able to access the HSF. So because the international price was higher than expected, they haven't been able to touch the HSF. But as soon as it falls below the budgeted oil price, they're going to access the HSF. And that is what they desperately want to do. Desperately.
But
buy more time.
But I'm hearing and I'm seeing, I saw where in the news, some news media was saying that this government haven't been putting the money on time in the HSF.
I cannot confirm that, to be honest, at this point. I can't say that. I can't say that at this point. I'll have to look into that.
Okay.
But I do know that they cannot access the HSF at this point. When we say access, they cannot take money out.
Seriously?
Yes.
So when they came in, but when they came into office, did they touch it?
I understood that they did to some degree, but that and the foreign reserves, because our foreign reserves dramatically reduced. We had about 8.2 months of import cover last year, April, when the PNM left office, and right now it has fallen below to about 5.2 months of import cover, or even less, which is the lowest it has been in maybe 20 to 30 years in this country in terms of import cover on our foreign reserves. The international benchmark for energy producing countries when it comes to foreign reserves is 6 months of import cover. The last time I checked, we are below that point.
But Mr. Manning, what you see in here is alarming.
Exactly. And that is what we should have been discussing in the mid-year review while the Attorney General talking about cheese paste. Right? And they want to bust mark about this one didn't pay the light bill, or this one was on a list that nobody even know about at TNTech. That's the point. The economy is not in a good place. I'm looking up here at import cover. Right now, it is being reported at 5.5 months of import cover. 5.5, below 6.
5.5 months.
Correct. That's our foreign reserves. When we left office last year, April, it was about 8.2 or 8.4 months of import cover, down to 5.5. Okay? So let's continue talking about cheap space. And who father this, and who mother this, and who sister that, and whatever. Right?
This isn't I want to move on, but Mr. Manning, this not sounding good enough.
It's alarming. It is alarming. And I wanted my contribution yesterday in the parliament to be alarming, so people would stand up and say, this enough is enough. Enough is enough. Things are not going well.
I saw where some gas stations are out of gas.
Yes, they weren't paying the fuel subsidy, right? How it works? You see, like in the United States, when the price of oil goes up, the fuel at the pump price goes up too, right? Because you need oil to make fuel. In Trinidad and Tobago, our fuel price is stable. Why? Because it is being subsidized by the state, right? So when the government decides to give you $1 decrease in the price of super fuel at the pump, it means that they have to pay more money in fuel subsidy going forward, especially when the price of oil skyrockets internationally. That also dramatically increases the fuel subsidy. I think the government had to add an additional $300 or $400 million in fuel subsidy payments in this mid-year review. Right? And that's only for the remaining 3 months or something like that of the fiscal year. So many of these guys would have been owed the massive subsidy that they had to pay, because they had to purchase that fuel, from whoever, and then they have to give it to you, and you buy it at the subsidized price, and then they get the rest of the subsidy from the state. So that's what happened.
Well, I don't know. I would like to, and when we open up the phone lines, I would like to hear from the callers on if gas stations in their community were closed today because there was no gas.
Yeah, well, Russia Street this week, so they should be getting.
Russia Street gas station had no gas.
Yeah.
So they should get this week.
Government was late with the subsidy payment, so they should get funding soon. Maybe this week.
And Mr. Manning say maybe this week.
Sir, I am not the Minister of Finance, right? He have to cut that check, so I don't know. I can't tell you when he will get about to doing his job. So, I'm being hopeful.
You ain't something too hopeful, eh?
Because is this Minister of Finance? It's hard to be hopeful.
You ain't something too hopeful at all. And this is sad because if people are listening and they're genuine in what is going on, then we need to wake up as a nation, you know.
I agree. Open our eyes.
But there are people who are hopeful, Mr. Manning.
So hopeful is one thing. Totally get it. Right? Everybody allowed to be hopeful. What you're not allowed to be is delusional. Right? As I said, the Minister of Finance is allowed to be optimistic, but you're not allowed to be prone to fantasy. That's why you end up in a situation and then don't know how you ended up there.
Wow. I want to play this clip from you in the parliament, and I want our listeners to hear it. You all take a listen to this of Mr. Manning in the parliament yesterday, in the budget, in the media review debate. Take a listen to this.
Moving on, Mr. Speaker. Ministry of Works. The Ministry of Works, which is now becoming known as the Ministry of Patching, not paving, Mr. Speaker. Because every time we speak with this minister and we ask how many roads have you paved, all we get is we patch this, we patch that, we patch here, we patch there, we patch everywhere, and we have to spend half an hour explaining the difference between patching and paving. No paving has taken place under this Minister of Works. But this is the same minister who on the election platform said we're going to pave every road in Trinidad and Tobago. Her words, not mine. Today, nothing. And nothing here in this supplementation that is going to assist in paving roads in this country. 77% of the entire supplementation is also for the repayment of loans. Not to improving infrastructure, not to paving roads, not for improving the lives of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Again, 77% of $362.9 million for loans. This Minister of Finance is running this country on borrowed money. And he's trying to hide it from the people of this country, Mr. Speaker. He is borrowing and spending. Not improving any revenues at all from anywhere. Borrowing and spending. Other notable items included the coverage of the NIS contribution increased, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, last year, the NIS contribution was at 13.2%. This Minister of Finance, without any consultation with anyone in this country, increased it to 16.2%. What do you think the plan is for next year, Mr. Speaker? To increase NIS contribution to 19.2%, Mr. Speaker. Almost 20% of your salary going straight to the NIS at the end of every month. Somehow he forgot to mention that. Imagine that. And I keep asking our good friend, Ms. Felicia at the PSA, how she feels about this. And the increase in retirement age to age 65. I cannot get a response. No response from the Minister of Finance, no response from Ms. Felicia. Both have sold out the people of this country, Mr. Speaker. Both. Mr. Speaker, let me move on to some other.
Mr. Manning?
Yes, sir.
So I played it where you did talk about the NIS.
Yes.
You know, I played it there for the listeners and they to hear.
That is what seemed to incur the wrath of Miss Jolene.
I'm more feeling the pothole. I'm more feeling the pothole.
And you know, after she After she told me about my father and all kind of thing, she went on to produce a list of all the potholes she patched all over the country. Not a road paving. She couldn't say, well, let me prove you wrong. Let me tell you the roads are paved. No. She gave us a list of every pothole she patched. The Ministry of Works and Transport. Thanks.
Somebody wants you to explain to us, or how much are you aware of what's going on with the old dollar notes that they want to bring back up?
Yeah, we suspended a long time. The major reason why that was done was to defeat money laundering in Trinidad and Tobago. Changing from the old notes to the new Parliament notes. To defeat money laundering, one, and to also make it more difficult to counterfeit the dollar, the $100 bill. This government, because during their first time in office, had their functionaries and other criminal cohorts hiding money all over the country. In the old notes, were very disappointed when we decided to implement that initiative. So there are stacks of old $100 bills lying around somewhere across this place, waiting for this government to make them legal tender once more. And if you saw in the finance bill, the Minister of Finance was, I think it was clause 20, producing these funds in different ministries, which will be managed by the minister, where they allow people to make deposits into various ministerial funds, managed by the minister, to do whatever it is they wanted to do. There was such little information what it was. And we firmly believe that these funds have the main purpose of legalizing money laundering in this country. Anybody could come and deposit money into this fund, and the minister sign off on it, and then it can be used for whatever purpose that the minister decides. That is total madness. Madness. A bank in this country couldn't do that. We have banks and other financial institutions that regularly manage funds. Why would a ministry need to have a fund? Why would the Ministry of Social Development need to manage its own independent fund? For what? Why not open a bank account and let people deposit in there? Because in a bank account, you have to go through the AML, KYC scrutiny. You have to give your information. You have to do all of those things to make sure that there's not laundered money or money for terrorist financing. And they want to establish ministerial funds managed by ministers who have no fund management experience to avoid all of those complications. And this is something we should watch very closely. The same week in which they announced these clause 20 in the Finance Bill 2026, their low-level functionary, Anand Ramlogan, appeared saying government should accept the old notes as legal tender. Madness.
Let me just play these two clips quickly before we open up the phone lines. So this is what Mr. Manning is talking about, where Mr. Ramlogan decided to show up and show off.
From his home.
Yep.
Former Attorney General Anand Ramlogan is calling on both the Prime Minister and Finance Minister to consider allowing people with old $100 bills to redeem them following a recent High Court ruling. In his judgment on Friday, High Court Judge Devendra Rampersad ordered the state to pay over $40,000 in compensation to the estate of an elderly woman who was denied an opportunity to change old cotton $100 bills to polymer notes in 2020 as she was stranded abroad during the COVID-19 pandemic. The case was filed after former Finance Minister Com Imbert refused to grant her an extension to change $10,000 after she was locked out of the country when the deadline passed. Rampersad ruled that Shanti Nanan, who died 2 years ago, was denied due process. It is for this reason, Ramlogan says, the government should now intervene, as he has several other clients with similar claims, and Nanan's is now precedent.
I therefore issue an appeal to Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa and Minister of Finance Dave Tanku to demonstrate some compassion and fairness and to show some mercy, because these people have suffered enough. Let us be fair to them and let them make their applications to Minister Tanku so that in legitimate cases, they can be allowed to exchange their old $100 notes that they saved by dint of their hard labor to get the new notes.
Ram Logan adds that the judgment is a message to public servants that their actions impact the lives of everyday citizens and they should operate with some measure of care.
I make in my final few moments, and this is coming out of the fees for the Office of the Attorney General, directly out of that. As we heard in the Standing Finance Committee, a conversation about who is being paid for fees, and there's an auditing of fees. Auditing of fees should always take place. So if there's a proper auditing of fees in the legal departments before they are paid, that is good for the taxpayers. But what we have been hearing is that out of the Office of the Attorney General, attorneys who are retained by the state are being dismissed and not being allowed to argue cases in court. This morning, Trinidad and Tobago woke up to see the result of one of those, with a former Attorney General who we asked, this is to do with the demonetization of the $100 bills. We asked, what is the relationship between the plaintiff and Anand Ram Logan and his client, correct? Is it his deceased mother-in-law, as well as the person who took place, is that now his brother-in-law? And the case that we have finally gotten a decision for, because we saw in the newspapers the suggestion, Mr. Speaker, that there were two senior counsel retained by the state directly related to the legal fees out of the Office of the Attorney General, Gilbert Peterson and Michael Kwamina. The decision that now exists for the compromise of this action shows that for the defendant, the Attorney General, it was Monica Spit, instructed by Brent James. And you hear the former speaker who spoke on the other side saying with glee in his voice, he fired them, Trinidad and Tobago, your matters are being compromised and sabotaged by the Office of the Attorney General. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Cheese paste, he talked about cheese paste about 20 minutes. In his contribution, with serious issues to be dealt with.
But Mr. Manning, I can tell you something. You know that didn't make the news, right?
But the cheese paste?
No.
I saw an article.
On what?
With the AG's picture with across the picture saying cheese paste.
No, I talking about that. What MP Young talk about?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's saying that they are intentionally compromising matters. They're trying to lose the case so they can have a justification for accepting the old $100 bills. If you remember, we had one point where we had a priest or a pastor from Central trying to change $30 million in $100 bills at the central bank. $30 million from a pastor from Central.
Don't try to come along on pastors, they know, you know.
If you had 30 million, we'd be much better friends. Trust me. Right?
Yeah, this is boy. Trinidad and Tobago only hear how my MP does talk to me, boy. You know, and then always want to meet me on the road, boy. Anyway, I have a call on the line.
Yes.
We have our first caller. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Oh, you sounding like if you wait, that's now. You sounding as though. What's that?
Listen to Tanko. How you sounding?
He sounding so. He's sounding like if you know all going on now. Let me just close up shop in this country. You know what I mean? This place, we doom. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen. I just following the trend from MP, and just to let you and Trinidad to be know that MP is being kind on what he has said to us tonight.
He's being kind.
Yeah, he's being kind. Just go through a few things about what MP would have said, right?
So wait, just now, caller, you can't come in the dance as the old people that say and they wash your foot. Oh, you could say the MP being kind.
So MP being kind, because I mean he admitted that he wasn't really following up on the whole news thing because of the NBA basketball, which I can understand because he's an avid basketballer, right? So I could understand that. I followed as well, but I only followed from the finals, and I was happy for the Knicks and glad to see.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I was happy for them that it took only 29 years to get to the final. But
that is okay. We got through. Only unfair. We got through. It doesn't matter how long. It doesn't. Kamala Persad-Bissessar. It took Kamala Persad-Bissessar 10 years to come back as prime minister.
Don't make that comparison. Don't start with the conversation now. Don't die about comparison.
Ole, you know these people does behave as though this is their program?
No. We assist you.
I find like you and 10% starting to sound as though you all are my boss, eh? The both of you are on a board of directors on Constructive Talk.
Never.
That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling as though you and 10% is board of directors. You know when I used to work at another place, when the boss wasn't happy with what I was saying, he's come and stand by the door.
And keep on note here. No. All I try to do is validate.
I find like you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
All you're singing.
Yeah, I'm not hearing him clearly.
Yeah, hold on. All I try to do is validate your good work, sir. Right? And I quite sure that my colleague 10% does do the same thing. But about what
that is your colleague now. Well, you're good, yes, right? Mr. Brad, Mr. Manning, you ain't on this job, man.
Yeah, along with MP as well. We are all colleagues on improving Trinidad and Tobago for all of us who have colleagues here. But what you're saying about what MP would have said to us is this, right? All of you heard about this Iran and the USA deal is coming from one side, you know. Iran hasn't confirmed what President Trump has said, and what the international experts in energy are saying is that the world is now 4 months behind where it is in terms of oil supply because of the Straits of Hormuz crisis. In fact, it was just today that one of the experts was saying that the world oil reserves have reached to their lowest levels since the time of the previous 1974 energy crisis. So that is very concerning. And in terms of the price, the price that we see now is based on futures, but the actual price is still high. The price that people are paying for the oil in the barrel and they put in the tankers is still high. And it will remain high because of the fact that Iran controls the strait and will still control the strait in spite of what President Trump has said. What President Trump has said by that deal is to try and bolster his party's prospects in November. Right?
Yes.
And here is the other concerning thing about what MP would have said. You see what MP said about the NIS increase and so on? And I said it last week there. Factor in that the people who have to pay and continue to pay the increases is look at the private sector workers and the people who have not had a salary increase or expecting back pay. And the minister
that has always been my concern in Okola. My concern is.
Here is true, Pastor. The minister has said to a great deal of them that all your payments will be postponed to 2027 in the next budget. Based on what price point of oil one, and based on what sort of revenue when the price falls below what we budgeted for this fiscal year, and what will be the price they will budget the 26-27 budget on. These are all considerations, and as you are saying, MP is being fined because he hasn't spoke about these things, but I know that the technocrats and people like themselves are scrambling, and honest economists like Mr. Baker, Dr. At, and Dr. Wright and me are scrambling now to come up with those figures on how these things will balance. And interestingly, before the program started, I read an article by Ms. Maya Buchanan saying that we are going to be in jeopardy of defaulting on our commitments based on what the government has done. That is a significant thing that will cause us worry and should cause us worry. And I know MP and others in the PNM will be worried about that. So I'll leave it there for now and give other people a chance. Thanks for the opportunity as usual.
You're most welcome, sir. And when you go on in live, watch the hat I have on. Right? When you only go on the live, only watch the hat I have on. I don't care what Mr. Manning and them say. I don't care.
Only poor Knicks fans, yes. Only suffer long and hard.
That is all right.
Like Moses in the wilderness.
That is okay. At least he made it to the promised land.
Agreed.
You understand? Somebody calling in. Oh my God. You better load down that, whatever you have in that car there, load it down, please.
Okay, sorry. I don't know you're hearing that, sorry.
Yes, we're hearing it loud and clear, 10%.
No, football, I was watching it, sorry.
You watching football and listening to me? How so interesting.
I can do that.
Anyway, you have 2 airs.
Yes, good night, Mr. Pastor Guru. Good night, Mr. Manning. Good night again.
Good evening.
Mr. Manning, this is 10%.
Yes. Your other boss.
Yeah.
My other boss, yes.
I don't go out, boys. Why trying to answer, right? How these people saying better days are coming? I don't understand. From where? Because listen, Mr. Manning. So the last 10-20 minutes. Where don't people get
That's how long you listen to Mr. Manning? Last 10-20 minutes?
Okay, I know, come on. I just reaching the house, so I was driving.
So then what kind of boss are you? What kind of supervisor are you? I could do what I want on the show then.
It's an other man. So if I
end other man?
A lot of people will pick up this if I end there.
Okay.
Anyhow,
I see one of your supporters on the live saying good night 10%.
Good night to you. Good night to you, whoever you are. Anyhow. Yeah, well, I can't understand.
Mr. Manning, I'm telling you, them come to take over the show.
Fans.
I'm trying to understand where these people say better are coming.
Yeah, exactly. They make a false narrative.
Yeah, because, all right, let me read. Remember in 2014 when she called on TV with this big glass oil, this big glass oil and saying we are oil. That time we are no oil. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was 2014, I think. Yeah. We say we are oil. This time we are oil. And come on TV with this big glass oil say we are oil. And this time we are oil. So I want to know why these people that lie. So we're saying but better than come in and we can't get money yet. And we here
you ain't get your money yet. You ain't get your money yet.
What money we get?
When Miss Felicia say you get it for Christmas, she didn't say which Christmas.
What?
You, wait now, just now. So you didn't get your money yet?
What money?
Mr. Manning,
Which money talk about?
this man does always cry.
What money?
Mr. Manning, Mr. Manning, you believe he ain't got no money?
Yeah,
which money?
Felicia?
The man come in the finance committee. He really bought it Monday. He come Tuesday a week after and say he had money. So we're talking about money.
So you really ain't
Which
got no money?
talking about? You ain't got no money? What money? What money talking about?
I don't believe you ain't got no money yet, man.
What,
so they can't give you money that has not been approved by Parliament. They couldn't.
They ain't got no money yet. Here one. The CPO still saying 40-60, and that is the heat budget.
That's it. That's the other discussion. Is there no discussion after that?
Huh?
You say 40 cash, 16 non-cash, right?
Yeah, that is saying, and he budget.
And that is the end of the discussion. That is it. What PNM was offering?
4%.
The choice 4 or 5.
Well, this is right.
Are you sure it's 4 or 5%, 10%?
I think it's 5. I can make a mistake.
No, don't make no mistake on this show.
Alright, sorry. I think it's 5. Sorry, 5.
Where's 40?
I'm 10%.
What is 40% of 10%?
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. You're going on. That non-cash. 40 cash in hand. That non-cash. I don't know if I'm not sure, but it will go to 3.8%. And last time I checked, that was less than 4%. 5%. I think.
So it's almost the same thing in cash, not so?
A little less. 3.8%.
Okay. A little less. So what's the difference between what they're offering now in cash and to what the PNM was offering in cash?
Actually, it will go to be a little less, 3.8%. I don't want to say
exactly,
but you leave no choice.
So they was giving people a 6 for a 9 from the start. So Ms. Felicia now, once you get vexed with people, I don't know what you get vexed for. You get almost the same thing that the PNM promised. Almost the same.
Almost the same. You get a little less, that 3.8% that will come to cash in hand.
After she sell her soul and jump around on a UNC platform.
Well, I want to see that. I want to see she come and try and fool any bus in front of us.
She go full it. She will full it.
I wait. Trust me, I wait.
Triggy.
I want to see. I wait to ride it.
You ever used to go on the bus? You ever used to go on the bus?
I not no mascot. I don't know that. She take the union and get the UNC. I don't know that.
So you never went on the bus?
Exactly. No way. I never know. I don't know.
I find you shouting at me.
Okay, sorry. No. I never know mascot. No. I never mascot.
Yeah. So they get almost exactly what the PNM had promised. After they said something entirely different, the whole election campaign. Right?
So I try to understand now. I try to understand what's really going on, because you say the man who offer 5%, he's a criminal. He wicked bad.
Correct.
You movie. A woman come and say she paying 10. She called no. They come with some nice match, some fancy match, and tell 60-40. But when they work it out now, you get 3.8%. So we get 7.2%. Hello?
We listen to you.
Yeah, we get 7.2%. We get up 7.2%. So what is really going on? What are they vote for? Because now they vote for you. They get 10 and they get up. Well, actually, we get up because the demand for him.
Exactly.
See, admitting. So are you admitting 10% you get robbed?
Well, the man said we get robbed. The man said he budgeting
10%. Did you get robbed?
If that we passing, we ain't get the money yet. But if that we passing, technically we get robbed because the city they cannot pay 10. They how they work because they said pay 10.
Not technically, definitively you have been robbed. Not technically.
10%.
10%. You have been robbed.
10%.
Listen.
You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
10%. 10%.
Listen.
Did you vote for Felicia?
What kind of question is that?
All of a sudden, nobody voted for Felicia. Nobody.
10%. Did you hear how Miss Jolene John would have attacked my member of parliament for the woman that you voted for?
Exactly. She hurt my feelings.
10%? She hurt my MP feelings.
No. Pastor first begin, your MP hurt her feelings. Because...
What, my MP don't have no feelings?
No, I say your MP hurt her feelings. I'll say that. I say your MP hurt Miss Jolene John feelings because Miss Jolene John, something he say that they know if she did the right way, but because she can't.
What didn't rob Miss? What didn't rob her? What
you say?
What? I can tell you. But look, he's right here. He can tell you what he said that robbed her the wrong way.
Well, I say. So she jump up there and she right attack. Thank God, boy. Like she can she attack. She attack her.
Let me ask him. So let me ask you a question. Okay. Do you realize that next year you'll be paying 19.2% in NIS contribution?
I am watched now.
Answer the question. Answer the question. You vote for this. You voted for this. Answer.
Pastor, I got some sarcasm here.
Who is that?
Hello? I got some sarcasm.
That's what it is. That's what has come up on the sea in Tobago.
I got some sarcasm here, Pastor. That's it. Anyhow, yes, I voted for Felicia. I will not hide that. I did.
Oh, boy.
However, our elections was before April 2028. When she won the election, she decided she going to do it. She never said that was her intention.
Brother, when Felicia won the election, I will never forget that.
Well, right, but
the same day, Felicia turned and tell the nation, I have won the election, and my next thing is to get rid of the PNM.
And I was, we were a part of a great deal of the union. I had to shoot with her because she didn't consult nobody. She was going until she was.
All of a sudden, no. All of a sudden, no. All of a sudden, no, never problem. All of a sudden, no. You see, you only 10%. Let me take our next call now. Let me take our next call.
All right, okay.
You see Barry Padarat, sister on a board. Eh?
Yeah.
You see Barry Padarat, sister on a board.
I thought Barry was only child. How sister? How sister? Barry is only child.
Trinidad and Tobago, please note that I did not say that. I did not say anything about anybody. Only child, nothing. Thank you very much.
How about you guys?
You know, all of a sudden now you want to ask about who is only child and who is not
only child. Only child.
Wait, just now.
How you know that?
How you know Barry's the only child?
Barry said his own mouth.
Barry said what with his own mouth?
He's the only child. How you guys, sister?
You heard Barry say that?
I won't say your one. Allege, because I'll never go to take a shit.
All these allege and step and all these different things that you creating. Let me leave that there now, brother.
Okay, good night.
You're laughing like a jammet. You only so boy.
I go. Good night.
Don't go nowhere yet. I want to ask you a question. Oh, you're going. I wanted to ask him, Mr. Manning, I wanted to ask him, when is their internal election? When is PSA election? That's what I want to ask him. When is PSA election? Them so, as one of them UNC bloggers just say, me and Olia.
Yeah.
If ever UNC blogger, he just say, me and Olia.
It's something else.
It's something else. If we don't call him, Mr. Manning will go, eh? So only need to call in. I see people calling in just now, and because 10% was on the line, will come off. To let 10% take away all the opportunity to talk to Mr. Manning.
I think it's a 4-year term in the PSA. So maybe what? A year or two has gone by now? So she has some time left in there.
Oh, she have about 3 more years then.
Maybe 2 or 3 years.
Because I think she came in
well insulated.
Yeah, because she came in the year of election, of the general elections. So she has about 3 more years to go.
Yeah. If they re-elect this lady, I'd be right.
10% of them doing that. That guy who called just now is re-electing Felicity here. You see how she does talk? You see how she does talk?
Yeah, like a bad that you can beat people.
Hello, good evening. We have a foreign caller. Where are you calling us from?
Maryland. Maryland.
So we have a caller from Maryland, Mr. Manning. Maryland.
The home of the Terrapins.
Yes, the Terrapins. That is quite true.
Correct. Correct.
Actually, I want to just say good night, Pastor Google, and good night, MP Manning. My question is, I have a question for MP Manning, actually. Now, it was being said, right, that the NIS was headed into insolvency. All right. Could you tell us what plans PNM had to mitigate that potential insolvency? And I'll listen to you off here. Thank you.
All right. Yes. Well, there were several recommendations made to improve the solvency of the fund. Right? One was increase contributions. 2 was to raise the retirement age. And then 3, we had to also place more US dollars in the investment fund for international investment to get a higher return to improve the fund. So this government chose 2 out of those 3 possibilities. The difference is when I was at the Ministry of Finance, I was charged with having consultations with every major union in Trinidad and Tobago, all of them. And of all of these unions, we would discuss an increase in retirement age from age 60 to age 65 and the strata in between. That is the only thing we discussed. No discussion about an increase in contribution. How many unions do you think agreed with an increase in retirement age to 65? The answer is none. None of them agreed. 0. They were all totally and completely, and I would say aggressively against an increase in retirement age to age 65. Nice. So we had that discussion. Election comes, the UNC comes into office. Without any meeting or consultation or discussion with any union or anyone else, they foist this increased NIS contribution on the people of this country. I don't know if the contribution had to be what it is right now. It is so steep. It is a 3% increase per year. It went from 13.2% last year to 16.2% this year and 19.2% next year. I could not say that the PNM government would have implemented such a steep increase in NIS contribution. Yes, we were discussing an increase in retirement age, but having both the increase in retirement age and such a dramatic increase in contribution and no discussion about adding US dollars to the actual fund, which is about $30 billion and is the single largest fund in the CARICOM region, to improve the returns of the fund, to bring some relief to contributors. I mean, there are other things that could have been done to improve the fund. What the government is doing here is draconian, and it came with absolutely no discussion or buy-in from any of the trade unions. None.
I hope the caller get the answer he was looking for, because the specific.
I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't, but that is the answer.
The question was, what was the PNM going to do to save NIS really? To save the NIS contributions that people have been making, and that people would be able to get the NIS payment when they retire. So what was the plan? So the plan was, Mr. Manning, if you could correct me if I'm wrong, the plan was raise the age for retirement. People didn't want that. But isn't it strange that this government raised the age and raised the contribution?
And the contribution, but nobody marching, PSA not vexed, nothing. And not just raise contribution, I tell you, a 6% increase in 2 years. Steep increase from 13%, right? Closer to 10% to 19.2, almost 20% NIS contribution.
So wait. So if it's 19 point how much?
19.2.
So if I'm working for $5,000 a month in the private sector,
almost a fifth of your money is going into NIS contribution.
No, Mr. Manning. No, you're coming here spreading. You are coming here spreading fake news.
Okay. Ask Dave when you see him. Why do you think Dave don't want to talk about it? Why do you think they want to talk about cheese paste and who father is this and who father sell out and everything else except the important issues? Because they're not popular and
Mr.
they know
Manning,
people are not going to be happy.
Listen to this. Let me ask you something. Mm-hmm. I think we need to do a barbershop podcast. We need to.
I'll grow some hair first, but all right.
We need to go into the barbershop, Mr. Manning, and sit and have a conversation with the common man, the man on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Could I arrange that?
I'll take a shave. I could get a shave. Or some of these barbers, well good at that.
Right. But here I want to find out from you. So we are discussing NIS contribution.
Yeah.
Right? And you are going to explain to the common man who coming in the barbershop, hey, are you aware how much you're working for? A man say working for $10,000 a month. All right. How much you feel you're paying in NIS? Mr. Manning, I'm not hearing people talking about this. That is my biggest concern. My biggest concern is how a man who working for $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, how is he going to live? If you are saying to us, Mr. Manning, that they are going to take out 19.2%.
Correct. You heard me say it in the parliament, not so? Right? When you just play the clip that I said.
Nah, let me play it over. Let me play it over. Mr. Manning, people ain't hearing what you saying. You know? No, I've been reading it here. I think this is going over people's head. You might think that is small thing. I sorry. But this is not, and
that is not health surcharge. That is not green fund levy. That is not all the other taxes that you pay. That is NIS alone.
Let's play the clip. Listen, Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this clip.
The notable items included the coverage of the NIS contribution increased, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, last year, the NIS contribution was at 13.2%. This Minister of Finance, without any consultation with anyone in this country, increased it to 16.2%. What do you think the plan is for next year, Mr. Speaker? To increase NIS contribution to 19.2%, Mr. Speaker. Almost 20% of your salary going straight to the NIS at the end of every month. Somehow he forgot to mention that. Imagine that. And I keep asking our good friend, Miss Felicia at the PSA, how she feels about this and the increase in retirement age to age 65. I cannot get a response. No response from the Minister of Finance, no response from Miss Felicia. Both have sold out the people of this country, Mr. Speaker. Both.
Increase NIS contribution, did they mention that when they were on the platform?
No, they didn't mention that, Mr. Manning. No, they didn't.
Sky, it was 10% for everybody, right? Did they say 40% non-cash?
No,
and
they
60%,
no,
40% cash, 60% non-cash. Any mention of that?
Mr. Manning.
Okay.
This could never be true. Olia.
I'm telling you.
Callers, viewers.
I said it.
Mr. Manning, this could never be true.
Pastor Google, I said it in the parliament, and nobody jumped out their seat to object with no point of order and say Manning lie, and he father this, and he mother this, and his sister this. Nobody say a word. Everybody get quiet. They can hear a pin drop in the parliament when I said it, because they know it's true. That is what they're doing. And the people who are supposed to be representing public servants in this country have nothing to say. Nothing. Well, okay.
No. Callers, calling. 10%. Simpleton. Brian.
Felicia jersey right now.
Mr. PNM. Whoa, Leo. Everybody right now on the live shock. The numbers on everybody on the live is in shock. Nobody ain't calling. Everybody in shock. People only can't believe it. Or as they used to say, you can't believe it. This is not a joke, Mr. Manning. This is serious business.
No, I wish it was a joke. It really isn't. It really, really isn't.
This is serious business, boy.
Yep.
Somebody say if your salary is $5,000, you have to pay $960 per month. Mr. Manning, all you're wicked. All you're wicked. Hello, good evening.
Yes, sir. You are some intervention.
What it is going on here? Mr. Simpleton, listen to me carefully, please. Somebody just did the calculations for if you're working for $5,000 a month, your NIS,
I saw it.
Your NIS contribution is $960.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Simpleton, only wicked or what?
No, Dr. Rowley and Mr. Imbud were wicked. Catch yourself.
Wow.
What the gain here is promise what did he said in the budget presentation? Promise kept. Yeah, promises are being kept. Right?
What is the difference between what they're offering public servants now and what the PNM was offering? With this 40% cash and 60% non-cash. What's the difference?
Yes, and also MP,
where's the difference?
Tell them about the inflationary pressures, because you would have gotten your 4% back pay on your salary at the inflationary pressures. Then the inflationary pressures will be increasing as we go forward. Food inflation, everything will be increasing. So that is a further that further cutting into your take home. Not so, MP?
Correct. Plus the taxes from your wonderful Minister of Finance. So at the end of the day, your disposable income is what? Almost nothing. You are getting nothing.
Thank you. It's like a man using a treadmill to get fit, and the people who running around the savannah running faster than him.
Mr. Manning, what you laughing at?
No, but it's true. That is true. The analogy is true, Pastor.
You know that's funny to me? The bold-facedness of it all. Like, I couldn't come to people and lie to them like that. And these people comfortable doing it. No, as young people say, normal. They're lying to you in your face. And I sit down in the parliament and hear these people speak, and I wonder sometimes, is a different world? Like, I don't know what these people talking about. Where they see this? And you thinking that they telling the truth. They're lying.
Look at this other one, MP. The audit of the central bank that Mr. Hawaii allowed and told the Auditor General, yes, you're free to come in. And what did she discover? She discovered a $28 million fraudulent check scam.
Yeah.
She discovered a $28 million TT dollar scam to a contractor by a contractor, where now they had the whole 1 million, and they had the contractor has to go into arrangement now to pay back the rest. Not so, but she did, and all that will have to come in her report for fiscal 2026, 25-26. Not so, MP, when she has to lay that report next year, January, right? But here it is.
Yep.
She is yet to account to the public about the missing 2.6 billion. Because since you went in there to audit on Mr. Hawaii's invitation, you should be able to see the 2.6 billion that was spirited away by Mr. Imbut and yourself. Not so, because you were complicit as the minister in the ministry, right? So why doesn't she come out and come to us
hiding $2 billion?
That's scandal.
Hello, say it again?
28 million.
Yeah. Looking for 2 billion.
Yes. Account us for the 2.6 billion that Mr. Imbut spirited away. Tell us about that.
Correct.
And then here the other shocking thing, right? Now the clip that you played, Pastor, about the demonetization case and the questions asked by Mr. Young about the personage of the deceased plaintiff, right? If it is true about what he said about the firing of the lawyers, right? Add that up to the 120 million that we're supposed to be recovering from the court in Miami on Piato 1. What about that? Is the AG going to pursue that compensation that is owed to that has been settled by the American courts in Miami for the benefit of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and which revenue, which could count as revenue that we would need for the support to do all the things that they want to do, ain't it? But we heard nothing about that by the finance minister.
Nothing. In the middle of a big budget debate. Nothing.
Better days are coming. We must believe that.
So I said a slogans and catchphrases. That's all they're giving you every time. They come there, you can't get a fact, a figure, a number, nothing, And it's like, you make innocence a joke. You're turning the parliament into a joke.
And MP, I just want to leave one more thing for the public to consider, and MP will consider when I leave, right? Could expand on it. The demonetization exercise with respect to that case that was won, right? If that is done and those the exchange is made, you know what that does? That undermines the strength of the currency of Trinidad and Tobago. And unlike the US of A, we cannot print money to prop up our currency. They could afford to do that. And if you undermine by allowing the demonetization, that sends a very bad signal to investors. MP, am I wrong? I will listen off.
Not just that, it puts downward pressure on the value of our currency. So it pushes more to having a devaluation, because now your money costs less.
right? Because the supply has been increased overnight. You see?
No, let's see what
they're desperate to launder this money badly. Because a lot of their functionaries had it hidden away from their first time in office.
Well, let's see what's going on. I hope all listening what's going on, you know. Wow. So let's Mr. Manning, your closing remarks as we look to close with my Knicks hat on.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had better news for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Right, I really do. I was very, very much disturbed by some of the things that I heard in the media review, the Standing Finance Committee, and I was especially disturbed by the behavior of the Minister of Minister of Public Utilities, Mr. Padera. I mean, intimidating Parliament staff like that is something that just cannot be accepted.
Yeah.
And I would say that our economy is in a tough spot, and people should be very concerned and be very cautious with the way they spend their money going forward, because we have no idea what tomorrow will bring. But what this government is doing does not give me great comfort or optimism in terms of the direction of the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. So folks, watch your spending and be very cautious with what you do with your money going forward.
What I think I will want to do next time I have you on is for you to teach us how to budget. A simple budget that you think that will help us to go through this situation that we are facing as a nation.
Sure. Not a problem. That sounds like an excellent idea, actually.
All right. So, again, thank you, Mr. Manning, for being with me this evening on Constructive Talk. And we'll talk to you soon.
Pastor Google, it's always a joy to be here with you and your listeners. And I really appreciate the job you're doing to educate the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and especially the people of San Fernando, where you're well loved and well received.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and all the best to everyone who has been listening. Take care.
All right, bye-bye. So Trinidad and Tobago, you just heard Mr. MP Brian Manning, and you heard of his concerns about the economy, and we need as a nation to wake up. Everybody not winning. I am really taken aback, you know. I am really taken aback by this nation, you know. You are telling me, nation, you are telling me that this haven't, okay, so next year it will start to affect you. Because next year they'll be taking out $960 from your salary. So by next year, after next year, October, November, December, January, next year, then you will want to make noise about it? 10% we're calling now for.
Hello? Hello?
We're saying hello for you. Know you're on.
Yeah, all right, sorry. You know what I mean?
Nobody I knew.
This woman who I'm going to sit there and she 10,000 that she can change. And he have more plans. We don't come out from all of a sudden we hear about them. All I'm money the one I can't change. They can say we are holidays. You still have cutting notes? That not yet? We keep an eye on our fridge. You telling me you still have cut notes in your place? Put on? And dying salary not yet? Will you have that fridge? You put in plastic and put in a fridge. You can't tell me what I'm really believe somebody ship it up. You ample time to can't change that. We was
outside,
that you're in the country. So all of them every man jack was out of the country. That they go out the door of it. Every man jack was out the country. That's slogan. They was out the country. So the now one the now concern now the one to bring in the cotton notes for new notes. So when they bring in them cotton notes, they can explain where and how you get. They can explain that because when they bring in that you have to explain where and how you got to know. So is it that let's bring it in and we just give it wherever, or you come now and explain where and how you get that? Because you tell them this people do not care, because you are going to put pressure on the currency. We open with your money, you know. So when we put pressure on central bank. And the country get a harder cash flow. What is that? You don't care. You really don't care. These people cannot tell me they care. And you go on a court to fight for 10,000. I'm talking about other clients. How much money your other clients have? Because she had 10,000 and she passed away already. So how much money your more clients and the reason why they continue because they wasn't here. How much money they have? Because we hear people have basement money. So I want to know, let's sell a cut notes in another place. What condition are in? Ever, sir? Hello?
I listening to you, the your show.
No, I don't know what condition that money in. And when I bring Central Bank, we're going to use a truck, a maxi, a baco. We're going to use. Because you can't attend to 10,000. You have to have more than that. Anyway, Pastor, Dr. Anderson, enjoy the show. Well, the show don't say.
You see how Trinidad and Tobago hear this man?
What's wrong?
Anyway.
I think show down enjoy. The more is good.
Anyway.
Good night, sir.
I tell you, I'm working for this man. Only I feel like joke.
Good night, sir. The show done, right? So good night. Good night.
The show done. Also, you tell him I go home then. You tell him I lock off.
I can't go home.
You tell him I lock off. But anyway, the internet bill coming. The internet bill reach. All you and Mr. Winham, simple son. Always what it is? The directors on this program here.
Well, you're one now. You're one. You gotta check my like about what it is. Wednesday, Tuesday. What is it again? Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Right. Well, check my Tuesday.
Today's the holiday. Hey, only this man, right?
Today's the holiday 5 years.
Okay, all right. So how I checking you? You see, only hearing this man.
I'll call it. I'll call you. Right? I'll call him. Right.
Anyway.
Okay. Enjoy yourself, night,
just
sir.
Remember God don't sleep. Just remember God don't sleep, eh?
I know that. Yeah, tell me that. I know that.
You sure you know that?
I know that. Right?
All right, boss.
Hi, Pastor. I go and enjoy yourself, night.
I hear your wife telling you come off the phone. Your wife.
Oh, you hear that?
I hear your wife tell you, come off the phone now.
Just phone I'll change this phone. This phone sensitive, but anyhow, I'll go on.
And she laughing, you know.
Who you hearing that? Look how fast she is. Anyhow, I'll go on later.
Yeah. %, boy. Earlier. Trinidad and Tobago, wake up, eh? Wake up, please. Please and thanks. Wake up.
Trinidad and Tobago, Get ready for an unforgettable evening of music, memories, and magic. On Saturday, June 20th, the legendary Carol Addison returns to TNT for one spectacular Father's Day concert experience. Just for Dad. Taking place at the iconic Queen's Hall St. Anne's. This promises to be an evening like no other. The Winifred Atwell Hall at Queen's Hall comes alive with Carol Addison. Special guest performances by the electrifying Terry Lyons and the sensational Carol Jacobs. With special guest appearance by Dane Gulston, bringing together elegance, energy, and pure Caribbean excellence. Just for Dad. June 20th, Queen's Hall.
General admission tickets cost $300.
Get your tickets at the Queen's Hall box office
and the Trini Shop, Trin City Mall in Port of Spain.
Or call 681-1516 for more info. The perfect way to celebrate Father's Day, because he's worth every moment. Showtime, 7 p.m. sharp.
Brought to you by Ghana Artist Management Events, FT Farfan, Shamir, Bees Ice Cream, and supported by I-95.5 FM. Special reserve tickets are now available only at Queen's Hall at $500 each, which entitles patrons to a meet and greet mixer with refreshments after the concert.
Yak and Friends proudly presents Uhuru 8. Join us on Saturday, July 25th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the City Hall Auditorium, Harris Promenade in San Fernando. This year's celebration is held in honor of Mr. Anthony Kamiziong as we continue strengthening our African ties through culture, unity, and heritage. Experience an unforgettable evening of African dance, powerful drumming, cultural expression, and great food. Early bird tickets are $350 admits 2 and $200 admits 1. Come dressed in your finest African attire for a chance to win Best Dressed Male and Female. Celebrate African culture. Celebrate freedom. Celebrate Uhuru 8. For tickets, contact 684-1792 or ticket outlet at Something Special with Finishing Touch at Ritz Plaza, number 25, St. James Street in San Fernando.
The Constructive Talk team with Pastor Google are asking for your support in their back-to-school drive. Let's help the less fortunate children get ready for the new school term. Donations of notebooks, copybooks, stationeries, and book bags would be greatly appreciated. Show your love, show your generosity by contacting 464-703 and we will organize collection of your donations. Thank you from the Constructive Talk team. And remember to be kind, be generous, and be loved.
Hey, all year. Na. Oh, I just played football and basketball, then I take a little walk in the mall. Now I say, please hear my call. I need some water to wash my balls.
Please, send some water. Please, hear these calls.
I can't take it no longer. I really need to wash my balls. Yes, I need to bathe and I need to cook. Laundry piling up on the walls. But before anything else, was I look, I want water to wash my balls.
Please, send some water. Please, hear these calls.
I can't take it no longer. I really need to wash my balls. You may not believe it's true, but my wife balls dirty too. My teeth getting yellow like they ripe. What's a please put water in the pipe?
Please, send some water. Please, hear these calls.
I can't take it no longer. I really need to wash my balls.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for watching my father on this constructive talk. And I hope that you can subscribe to the page and come back again, because he had a lot of important things that he could talk about. And and thank you for liking my father's content. And thank you for liking the background. I helped him got it. Bye-bye.
The information provided by the speakers and or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
Worried and I'm feeling the pain. My faith's been tested time and time again. Oh, but my spirit is determined to believe and to overcome life trials that seem to never done. But still, I kneel before you with a praying song. Lord, I come to pray for the strength and the faith that's required. Amen. I pray for my people to not lose their fire. Amen. For those who suffering in silence, grant them wisdom, cures, clarity and guidance. I pray for the young and I pray for the old. Cover their minds, Lord, don't let them lose control. Though we stand in sin, no transgressions are many. Thank God for the life that He gave me. To all you who doubting and losing faith, time to congregate and no time to separate. I'm calling on the prayer warriors in the country. A blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Life is getting harder to manage. Oh yeah. The plan you had for us, it's vanishing. Violence. Lord, the nation in distress. What's it gonna take? We need a rest. It's time that we repent and we confess. Cause Lord, I'm tired of the bloodshed, it rising in numbers. Amen. I'm tired see the youth choose the path of plunder. Amen. Can't walk the street in peace is a problem. Father, intervene, please save your children. Them gangs, them surrender your soul. You're not fully done, but you're fully in control. To change up your mind waiting well, doubt in a place where hope should dwell. We all have to answer to you, so knees go bend. In the end, Lord, I pray for the leaders to lead with integrity. Amen. So my people could thrive and provide for the family. I really fed up on the racism, hate the division. We all have history here, don't matter your religion. I'm praying for all them false prophets that mislead your flock. Lord, open the eyes of the sheep that they mock. I pray in your strength and we in solidarity. Thank God for the life that He gave me. So all you who doubt and losing faith, time to congregate and no time to separate. I call in all the prayer warriors in the country. Come for Trinidad, need we. Cause I say Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. With you we walking through the fire. Amen. To make it we must stand together. Amen. To build safer communities. Amen. Enjoy the life that you give away. You are a feeling to behold. Amen. Guide all straying souls. Amen. Who God bless, no man curse. Speak it in the universe. I say, Lord bless protection around way. Amen. So the devil can't touch we. Remove evil mind and jealousy. Amen. Keep we away from that jumpy. Oh Lord, Lord, I feel a joy in my soul. Amen. Cause you always in control. Amen. The only way that I know. Amen. Make a joyful noise and sing with me. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Tobago need a blessing.